we are going to start with money again today. So we were practicing counting coins. Most of you did a really, really great job. Don't forget that when you're counting the coins and you're writing like the total value, you cannot just write 42. You have to write 42 cents. So it's the C with the line through it. So some of you I sent back your work and asked you to fix that. There isn't a cent sign on, I can't find one on my keyboard. So you'll have to write it with the pen tool. But so just a little quick, notice you've got to put in that cent sign. You can't just leave it blank. Because it's not just 42. It's not just the number 42. It's 42 cents. All right, so we're going to get with our first type of coin. Okay. Our first type of coin, a penny. So, if we are looking at a penny, who could tell me the value of a penny? Emmy. What's it worth? Yes, right. It's worth 1 cent. Okay. It's worth 1 cent, or we can write it like this in dollar form. Okay. What do we notice about this coin? How is it different from the other coins? How is it different from the other coins? Zoe?
It's like a copper color.
It's like a copper color, right? It's kind of copper. Right. And they did at one point in time use actual copper, but I don't think they do. It might just be like the copper coating. I don't think they actually use copper anymore. And does anyone remember whose face is on here? Who's the head? Does anyone remember? Gage?
Abe is on there.
Abe! Good old Abe! That's right. It has Abraham Lincoln on it. And on the tail side, it has the Lincoln Memorial, which is in Washington, D.C. And if you ever get to go to Washington, D.C., you got to check out all of those places. So that is the penny. The penny is worth 1 cent. There is it's upside down, sorry. The Lincoln Memorial. Great job. Okay, so that's the penny. Okay. What about the nickel? Okay. Here's a nickel. What about the nickel? How much is a nickel worth? What's the value of a nickel? Bristol. 5 cents. Right. Great job. It is worth 5 cents. If we wrote it out in the dollar form, it would look like this. Remember, we don't really have to worry about this one. We're primarily focused on the cents part. And then who can remember what is something that makes this different from the other coins? What makes this coin different from the other coins? Who remembers? What makes this different from the other coins? Riley, do you remember? What makes it different?
It's smooth.
It has the smooth edge, that's right. So the edge of this has a smooth edge. Great job. It has a smooth edge. And who remembers who is on the nickel? Who remembers who's on the nickel? Do you remember? He was a president. He has the same name as my dad. It's Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, and then remember the house on the back is the Monticello, his house. So Thomas Jefferson, you don't really have to know this, but I like to go over it again because it's good to know. You might need it in social studies in 5th grade or something like that, you know, just so you know. Thomas Jefferson. So we got a penny, which is 1 cent, and a nickel, which is 5 cents. Now, who remembers how many pennies go into a nickel? Zoe, how many pennies go into a nickel?
May I see it again?
No, just looking at the value. A value is 5 cents. How many pennies go into a nickel?
5 pennies.
5 pennies. So 5
Cooper,
pennies go into 1 nickel. Yes, ma'am.
when you said nickel, it sounded like you said pickle.
Pickle? Nope, I said nickel. Nickel and pickle do rhyme, though.
When
Not-
you said nickel, you said a pickle is worth 5 cents. I thought you said.
No, I didn't say that, but they do rhyme, so I can understand why you thought I might have said that.
You must have misspoken because that's not a pickle.
It's not a pickle, that's right, that'd be silly. That would be a silly. Our next one, don't know if you're going to be able to see that because it's not dark enough. There we go. Is a dime. Now, who remembers how much a dime is worth? How much is a dime worth? Gauge. 10 cents. That's right, not just 10 though. It's worth 10 cents. Okay, I saw George mouthing it. 10 cents is like that in dollar form. Who could tell me what makes a dime different than all the other coins? What makes a dime different than all the other coins? What do you think, Gage?
It's the smallest.
It's the smallest in size. So it's the smallest in size, right? Not the smallest value, but it's the teeniest, tiniest one. And who remembers who's on a dime? It's Franklin Roosevelt. FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt. And on the back, you have a torch and branches. Okay, so it's FDR. Okay, our last one. Okay, I'm trying to change them all up, and I do want to show you the different kinds of these. We have a quarter. Now, who remembers how much a quarter is worth? How much is a quarter worth? Zoe, how much is a quarter worth?
A quarter is worth 25 cents, and George Washington, the first president in America, is on it.
That's right. It is 25 cents. In dollar form, it's 0.25. Okay. There is George Washington on it. Good old George. George Washington. Okay. What makes this one unique from the other coins? What do you think makes this one unique? What do you think, Darren?
The largest coin.
It's the largest, right? It's the largest coin, and it has the, well, doesn't technically have the largest value, but in common currency, it has the largest value. Now, I noticed this yesterday when I had to record, because I had to record the math lesson because I was showing you guys stuff on Seesaw yesterday. So I did it at a separate time. But quarters typically, they have George Washington. He looks like he's got like curly hair in the back there. And they typically have a bald eagle on the back. But starting about, I don't even know, about 10 years ago. It might have been more than 10 years ago. I know I was a senior in high school, so that would be about 12 years ago. And they started doing things like this on the back of quarters. So this is for a national park. So the tail side or the back side of a quarter is different. And I want to show you some. So that's like a national park. They did one for all the 50 states. They did one for, I actually collected all the 50 states one. That is Arizona. These are all quarters still. This one is South Carolina. So they do have quarters out there that don't have the eagle on the back. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. I don't want you to think, oh my goodness, this one doesn't have an eagle. It can't be a quarter then. Now, thinking of a dime. How many pennies can go into a dime? How many pennies can go into a dime? George. 5 pennies can go into a dime. Pennies are only worth 1. So it's 10 pennies that can go into a dime, not 5. 10 pennies can go into a dime. And then it's 2 nickels that can go into a dime. Okay, or 5 pennies and 1 nickel. And then we'll get into quarters more as well. So, I would like every single person to draw this. Okay. I would like every single person to draw that. You have a dime, a nickel, a penny, and a penny. So you're going to draw a dime, a nickel, a penny, and a penny. Okay, and before we count this up, hold on. Before you count this up, because you're going to have to count it and put it all together, we're going to go over the values. Who could tell me how much a dime is worth? You can just shout it out. Go ahead.
10.
10. How much is a nickel worth? 5. Shout it out. You're good. How much is a penny worth?
1.
Okay. Now, I would like you to determine the value of all of those coins. Go ahead and write down the value of all those coins. So you're going to total up, basically add all of these together to find the total value. When you're finished, give me your best dinosaur face. Give me your best dinosaur face. So you're totaling up all of those coins. You know that dimes are worth 10, nickels are worth 5, and those pennies are each worth 1. You're adding up each of those coins together. Think about our counting on strategies. When you're finished, give me your best dinosaur face. This is where I need friends to turn on their cameras, because I'm going to do a show me your work. And this week we're doing show me your works in Latin. And counting in Latin too. Best dinosaur face when you're finished. Okay, so I need Alani, Aubrey, Riley, Cameron, and Easy to turn on those cameras for me. Ostende mihi faciam tuum operis, and tribus duo unis. Come on. Ostende mihi faciam tuum operis. Okay. Okay, some of you are missing something. Thank you, Bristol. Thank you, Gage. Thank you, George. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Emmy. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, Grayson. I still need to see Cameron, Alani, and Aubrey's cameras pop on. Remember, it's just for the problem. I just need to see the problem. It's so I can know how to best help teach you. So I need to see your work. If I'm asking you a couple times and you're not working with me, I'm gonna have to potentially talk to some parents. I don't want to do that. Okay? Because remember, what you're doing is helping me learn how to better teach you. Okay? So, for this one, we had to add 10 and 5, which is 15. And 3 ones is 3. So our total value is 18 cents. Now, some of you only put 18. Make sure you put the cent sign. Got it. Cent sign. It's not just 18. It's 18 cents because we're talking about money. Okay. Let's do another one. Okay. You have 3 dimes, 2 nickels, and 6 pennies. Okay, and before you solve this, we're going to go over how much each one is worth. Alice, how much is a dime worth, girl? How much is a dime worth, Alice? Remember, a dime is the smallest one. This is a dime. How much is it worth? 10. Great job, girl. See? 10, 10, 10. You have 3 tens. Now, who could tell me, let's see, Aubrey, how much is a nickel worth? A nickel is this one. How much is a nickel worth? It has the smooth edge. A nickel is worth 5 cents. A nickel is worth 5 cents. I'm going to add an anchor chart into your announcement page just to help you. And Miss Alani. Miss Alani. Yep, an anchor chart. I'll pop it in there after our math meet. Miss Alani, how much is a penny worth? No, a penny is only worth 1 cent. So a penny is worth 1 cent. So I would like you to find the total value. I would like you to find the total value of all of these coins right here. And if you need to, add a couple together. Okay? Make it easier on yourself. Add a couple together. Don't just be like, oh, 10, 10, 10. I got to add all those. What do those 3 equal? You know? What do these 2 equal? What do all of these equal? Make it easier on yourself. Consolidate it into smaller numbers. Or a smaller group of numbers, I guess I should say. When you're finished, give me your best bird face. Bird. It's going to take some time. You're okay. Okay, I'm looking for more bird faces, but take your time. Should be counting the value of these coins. See, lots of good brains are working. There's a lot of steps involved in this too. Don't panic if it takes longer than you think. Act like a bird. I'm a penguin. That's a good bird, Grayson. I liked it, man. Okay. Ostende mihi faciam tuum operis in tribus duo unis. Ostende mihi faciam tuum operis. Woo! A lot of words there in Latin. Okay. Thank you, George, Alice, Zoe, Bristol, Darren. Oh, Riley, you're so close. Grayson, you're close. Egypt, thank you. Thank you, Emmy. You're close too, Easy. Oop. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that. I still need to see that work from about 3 friends. Thank you, Aubrey. Good. Thank you, Gage. Thank you, Grayson. Okay. So, if I added, Alani, you got that value for me, girly?
No.
Okay, but you should have this because we've been practicing trying to make the value, okay? So I want you to practice to make the value. Cameron, you got that value, dude? Okay, so if I take 3 dimes and I add them together, 10, 20, 30. This is a total of 30. Okay? If I take these 2 nickels and add them together, that's 10. So 30 plus 10, that's 40. And then if I have 6 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 40 plus 6. Do you see how I did that? 40 plus 6. So 40 plus 6 is 46 cents. All right, let's try one more. This one hopefully won't be as difficult, but we'll see. It's okay if it is, no worries. Okay, there's going to be a little less coins. And I talked about that in the recorded video yesterday, that when you're making the amount with the coins, you want to try to use the fewest amount as possible. You don't want to make like 76 pennies, because then your pockets will be weighing down to the ground. You know, no one wants that. Okay. We got a quarter, a nickel, and 2 pennies. So go ahead and write that down for me. A quarter, a nickel, and 2 pennies. I'm still here. A quarter, a nickel, and...
How much does the quarter cost again?
We're going to go over that real quick, easy. Yep, we're going to go over that again. Who remembers how much a quarter is worth? It's the biggest one. Gage, how much is it worth, dude?
25 cents.
25. So a quarter's worth 25, easy, okay? Who remembers how much a nickel is worth? Cam, do you remember how much a nickel is worth? Cameron, do you remember how much a nickel is worth? Anyone else? Who remembers how much a nickel is worth? Egypt, how much is a nickel, girly?
5.
5 cents. Great job. And who remembers how much a penny is worth? Aubrey? It's worth 1. 1, right, great job. 1 cent. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add all of those together to determine the total value of those coins. And don't forget it has to have the cent sign. Don't forget the cent sign. We're adding up coins. We're not adding up butterflies or bubble gum or the amount of burps someone can do in a minute. We're doing money, so it has to have a money sign. And we're doing coins, so we're talking about cents. Come on, use some sense and draw your cent sign. When you're finished, give me your best dog or cat impression. Dog or cat? Oh man, got some angry cats going on. Oh no, you guys are some sad animals. Meow, meow, meow. Guys, Go-Go came in the room and was like, I hear meowing. He's hearing you all. That was funny. Okay. Ostende mihi faciam tuum operis in tribis duo unis. Ostend mihi faciam tuum operis. I'll get better, I promise. Okay, careful. Some of you are about one off. Thank you, Riley, Emmy, Zoe, George, Aubrey, Bristol, Gage, Alice. Close, Egypt, close. Easy, good. Darren, I think you're good. Yep, Darren, good. Bristol, you're close too. You were like Zoe. Alright, so who can help me? What is 25 plus 5 more? If I put 25 in my head, what's 5 more, Alice?
30.
It's 30. So 25 and 5 is 30. Now, how much is 2 pennies worth? How much is 2 pennies worth? How much is 2 pennies worth? Show me with your hands. 2. 2 pennies, 1 plus 1 is 2. So my total value is 32 cents. Now, if you were wrong or incorrect, am I going to be mad at you? No. Because is this new for a lot of you? Yes. And even if you've experienced and you've used money before, are you going to be 100% correct in math all the time? No. Because you're not scholarly mathematicians yet. I consider you mathematicians, but we practice to get better. It doesn't mean that we're ever going to be perfect or we're going to get every answer correct. Even if math is our best subject. Mrs. Cooper in high school, math and science were my best subjects. I did really well. I really liked math and science. But guess what? I sometimes didn't do well. And that's okay. I was learning, you know? I was learning how to do stuff. And then when I got to college, lo and behold, history and English became some of my favorite subjects. But, you know, it's just the way it goes. It's the way the cookie crumbles there, friends. Alrighty, so that is all I have today for your math lesson. Now, your math activity today, I do want to go over it real quick. You are going to be matching, okay, the amount of coins in an egg to a basket that has a value. So let me show you real quick because I don't want you to be confused when you see it. So see, you have the values, or you have the coins in an egg, and then you're going to match them to the value in the basket. Now, if you are getting overwhelmed because there's like so many coins on that page, guess what? What you can do is you can move that egg to the middle of the page. Count those coins. Figure out where it goes. So you could count the coins, move it to where it needs to be. Okay, I don't know if this is where it needs to be, but move it to where it needs to be, and then you could always take the eraser tool and erase that value. Don't worry, take your time. Don't panic, okay? There should be 2 eggs in each basket. So that's a little hint, and I wrote that in the directions as well, but there should be 2 eggs in every basket. Alrighty, friends.